that, bro, but been around the scene. You know what I'm saying? I've been around pretty much since the beginning, bro. I remember when Frigga used to try to find parks to go to, shit like that. So yeah, bro,
Yeah,
I've
facts.
been watching you for a minute, bro. So I had to get this interview. I seen you at the trials and at the shit. And I know you went to the last
Yeah.
what Summit '02?
Yes, I was at Summit O 02. I was supposed to be at O 03, and my flight got canceled, bro. I was sick, bro.
Word,
I was
word, word.
sick.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, I've been following you for a little minute, man. Been checking you out and shit. Pause. That shit sound crazy. But
You good.
but yeah, man. So tell me a little about you, bro. Like, you know, like where you from and shit.
Yeah, bro, of course. So I'm from New York, you feel me? I grew up in Brooklyn, and then I've been in Long Island for about like 4 years now.
Word.
Um, I've been covering this space. Well, not covering this space, but I've been watching this space just as long. I didn't really start like making videos about this space up until like right before TNC 01, like maybe 2, 3 months before TNC 01. That was when I started to really make videos about it. When I used to stream consistently, I reacted to some TNC videos. Like I think my first ever TNC reaction was the mini series they had where it was like Frigga versus BJ, where
Yeah.
Rob played Day Day, like that whole series. That was when I first started reacting to it. And then on TikTok was right before TNC 01. That was when I started to like just make videos talking about the space, like, oh, this game got announced, this guy beat this guy, the top tens and things like that. And then it
Yeah.
just started picking up after. Because I feel
Yeah.
like at the time, there wasn't really a big audience for the one-on-one space on TikTok specifically.
Yeah.
Like it was growing, but I feel like everything was on YouTube and Instagram. So I kind of felt like there's a little bit of an open market for that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
For
if I get
sure.
on it now, like once it really starts to grow, like people will kind of start recognizing me more. So I kind of feel like that's what's happening now. But it's just been cool. Like I've been a big fan of the space since everything started. So it's been cool just to see where it's grown to now.
Yeah, for sure, bro. The space has came a long way, gang. Like I remember, bro, first everybody first trying to figure things out, and you know, you
Yeah.
was seeing some 1v1s, then Ballas Life dropped them all them unreleased 1v1s later on and all that. You got to see
Yeah.
like they've been trial and error in it, but it just now really starting to kick off with the 30, going to 30 and all the new rules and all that.
Yeah.
Um tell me I got to know, bro. How did the connection come with Next Chapter? Like how did they see
Oh
you?
yeah,
Did
for
you hit them
sure.
up?
So it started, honestly, I want to say it started with B. Ellis. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
started all the way going back to B. Ellis because I'm like an OG in his Discord. So I used to hop on the fan panels. Like he would have a whole bunch of fan panels, and
yeah. I
like
was
we would just
watching them
talk about the
shits.
space. Yeah, we would just talk about the space and things like that. Um, that's how I ended up doing an interview with Mike Harden after the Cam game at TNC 01. It wasn't like a one-on-one. It was me, B. Ellis, Jay, who was another Discord member, and Mike Harden. You know what I'm saying? So just being around there, like that was like my first introduction, or like I guess that was my first like the YouTube space kind of seeing me, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and then with next chapter, that started when they posted me on their page. So this was right before Summit '02. They posted a whole bunch of different creators and their reactions to Lat versus Kel being announced. So that was the first time they did something like that, and they had posted me on it, and I was like, oh shit, like okay, like they're tapped in. And it's funny because maybe like 2 months before that, Scotty had followed me on his personal Instagram. So Scotty Next Chapter.
Mm,
So he followed me on there, and I was like, okay, like there might be something there. He had DM me, and I responded. He never responded back. So I'm like, okay, like I'm just, you feel me?
yeah.
I'm in the back of his mind though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then TNC posted me, and they followed me on TNC. And then later that night, they DM me and they were just like, yo, bro, like, you want to pull up to Summit '02? Like, we got you with the courtside seats and everything. And for me, when I first saw that, I was like, it was just very new to me. I'm kind of like, shit, like, how am I gonna go about this? Because like I said, I'm in New York, so I'm like, shit. I know the facilities in Ohio, like I'm gonna have to fly. You know what I'm saying? It was my first time flying by myself. So my initial thought was, damn, I'm not gonna be able to make it. And thank God, like I sent it to I got a group chat with like two of my friends, right?
Yeah.
I sent it to the group chat because they know like they're kind of familiar with the space. And I'm like, bro, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. Like this, that, and the third. They instantly told me, bro, you're tripping. Like,
Yeah,
figure it
you
out. You
feel
know
me?
what I'm
Gotta
saying?
figure that
Yeah.
out.
They told me off rip, bro, just figure it out. Scotty was just like, bro, you have an opportunity to make content with the players. Um, and I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to my parents about it, just make sure they didn't need me for anything. And I flew out there for Summit '02. They handled the hotel. So I just covered the flight and then they handled the hotel, which I think is a pretty, even
Yes,
exchange.
yeah, for sure.
Um, Yeah, so it's like I get there, and I'm just meeting people, introducing myself. Then they put me on the stream during like it was some sparring, press conference, I interviewed some of the newer people and it was just all new to me. But I'm like, you know what? Like I'm gonna just take it in stride. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna act like I've been here before. That was what I was telling myself. Like, yo, I'm gonna act like I've been
Yeah,
here before.
yeah,
And yeah, bro, it's been super cool. And then from TNC 04, like I reached out to them like, yo, bro, like, like I want to pull up. And I was so mad that I got can't like my flight got canceled for Summit 03 because that was the first trials.
yeah.
So I'm watching the trials, right? And it's like during some of the games, it's two people at the commentating table and it's an empty third chair. And I'm like, bro, that could have been me, bro. I'm like, in my mind, I'm visualizing myself in a chair. I'm like, bro, that could have been me.
Yeah,
But the flight guy, it was out of my control.
yeah,
It
for
was
sure.
like weather conditions, like it was a tornado watch in my area. So it wasn't nothing I could do about it. But I was like, bro, that could have been me. So I'm like, you know what? Next time I go, like, let's see what they say about it. And they mentioned it. Like I didn't want to be too pushy about it, but I'm like, bro, if they mention it, like I'm on it. I'm gonna,
Yeah, for
I'm doing
sure.
it
Got it.
immediately.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
For
yeah,
sure, bro.
yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. So I get there to Summit 04. Everything was perfect this time. And you know what I'm saying? It ended up working out. It ended up working out. And it was a great experience, bro. It was fire. Just like doing that, like, commentating the game. And I think Pat versus D Stan was such a good game that like for that to be something that I commentated, like it was crazy, bro. That was a game of runs. So overall, bro, it was an amazing experience though.
For sure, for sure. So now that you've been to two of them, you putting this top rank because this one was fire. I ain't gonna lie, this one was
Oh
lit
yeah. Definitely, bro. Honestly, this is probably the best summit so far,
for
in
sure.
my opinion. I think Summit 01 is always going to have like a special place just because that's like that started it, and they had some
Yeah,
amazing games on there like Keon versus Moon. It was just the first time that they started something like that. I know they had like the TNC 04s and TNC 03 and stuff like that,
yeah.
but like the summit, it just had a different vibe to it, and the fact that it's happening monthly. So I definitely think Summit 01 will always have a special place in the overall, I guess, the overall just summits in general, but I think Summit 04 is the best one in
Okay,
terms of just like top to bottom games.
for sure, for sure. Okay, speaking of the pay-per-views though, let me ask you a quick question then. Um, what do you feel like needs to be based on now you having a little bit more of a, I wouldn't say like a first-hand knowledge, but a little bit more of
Mhm.
an insight, seeing more of the behind-the-scenes stuff. What do you feel like needs to go into play for the certain players that just can't get over that hump, bro? Like Pat not closing that game, gang. Like, did you see him
Yeah.
warming up and doing that type of stuff? Like, was he doing that?
A little bit. I would say a little bit here and there. I didn't see too much warming up. He was kind of like he was shooting around in between like timeouts and things like that,
Yeah,
like of other games. And then obviously, like, when it was his time, he definitely was warming up. But if I feel like to get certain players over those humps, I think it's just like it's 90% mental, like,
for
and
sure.
it sucks because I feel like Pat did everything right. Like he got to halftime and he didn't play into any antics. He didn't play into the crowd. Like he got to
Facts.
halftime and everybody in his area was super hype and he was telling them chill. He
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
walk
He was
away
like,
from them,
yeah, yeah, for
he had
sure.
to walk away from them. But I think towards the end, he did kind of start to play into the crowd a little bit, and that might have been what started the downfall. Um, but I think just in terms of getting over the hump, it's just like I really don't know because I've never been in that position,
Yeah, yeah.
But from an outsider's perspective, I do think that it's just all mental. It just comes down to staying focused until you have 30 points. Like once you get to 30 points, you can do all the antics. Like, for example, Judah, right? I watched Judah play Tom Mitchell. He did not say a word the entire game. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't even know what his voice sounded like until the game finished and he started going off. Like he
yeah,
stood composed. Um, He's still composed, he's still focused, and then when the game finished, that's when he kind of started to get crazy. So I just feel like for certain guys, it's just mental. It's just staying as focused as you can and just understanding that the game is not over.
yeah, for sure. Cause like I went to, so I've only been to one event,
Hmm.
before a little bit before the pay-per-views when they first came to Charlotte. I was at the TNC Charlotte. That was actually on my birthday too.
Really?
Yeah,
So that's like
goddamn.
Day Day versus Eli Carter,
Yeah,
like that.
so
Okay, okay.
yeah, so look, Pete, right? So crazy thing, bro. So I don't know if they put this in the video or not, bro, but I was standing next to Eli's aunt and uncle. They came over there, bro. They was popping it, gang. Like it was so crazy in there, bro. Like the energy
Yeah.
was so crazy. So that's why I asked about the summit because I know the energy is just like
Oh, for
it's just a
sure.
little different. Like the park runs, like you can see where the energy is, bro. But being in that closed environment inside that gym, like I know that shit is just it's just so
For
much
sure,
different, bro. With
bro.
so much on the line and shit like that. Um. But yeah, man, like that's the only really event I went to, and that's why I asked that because like I'm big on preparation. Like even when I did hoop and all that, like I'm big on
Yeah.
preparation and what's going on. So I pay attention a lot of those things, like what people doing and you know what I'm saying, little nuances and stuff like that. And like the game where I think Pat played Matt, he was just super locked in, bro. Like I know
Yeah.
that was his first game on the scene, and he was trying to really, get a feel for things, and you kind of get. I
Mm-hmm.
think people get comfortable after a while. That's really what I think be the biggest problem. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people get too comfortable. You kind of feel like you got it in the bag necessarily, and that does go back to
Mm-hmm.
being mental. But I feel like you still gotta think about things that could go wrong. Like you can't just go into things like with 100% confidence. Like sometimes you gotta be somebody gotta be the devil's advocate. Like, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. Like, bro, he was
Yeah.
shooting around, he wasn't really chit chatting, he wasn't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like he was
Mm-hmm.
super
For
locked in,
sure.
and I just the way he can't finish games now, it's just so disappointing, bro. Like it just be like, damn,
I know.
dog,
Yeah.
because you was
I
a
know.
big, bro.
Yeah, bro. And it sucks because like me being there, I spent a lot of time around Pat, and he's real life a real genuine person.
Yeah,
And like I was rooting for him that entire game. So I was a little bit sick when he lost, but I do think that he can turn it around. You know, you look at somebody like Isote. Isote was 0-4 in pay-per-views. And he faced another insane shot maker in a mod. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Another guy who can run him off insane, even though it was his first game on the scene. He was an amazing shot maker, just a super tough player overall. And you know what I'm saying? Tay was able to get over that hump. So I just think it's all about just staying focused. And the thing is, Tay didn't even have much time to like make any adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
between the Ty Mitchell
Top
game and
Metro game.
now,
Yeah,
that's maybe like the
that's
time.
been.
So the Ty Mitchell game was August 15th. And then this game just happened on Saturday. What's that, the 22nd? So that's like a week,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like in a week, you're not really going to be able to make any insane adjustments. It's all about just trusting your work and trusting that you're doing enough to win these games. So I just think, yeah, it just comes down to staying focused and just trusting the work, bro.
Yeah. It was a few upsets though. What you think was the biggest one?
In terms of upsets, man, it's funny because like I want to say the B artist game just because he's new to the scene, but B artist had a large following before that, you know. So it's like you had those people that knew that he was gonna come in and put on a show and possibly even win the game. If I had to go, it would be either that one or probably
Like
the
even from the
Bijan.
trials too. Even from the trials too.
Okay, from trials. Shoot, if I had to go trials,
I feel like everybody pretty
honestly,
much handled their business at the trials
yeah.
who was supposed to.
I feel like everybody who was supposed to win won. Besides either it would be for me either the B artist game or the Joseph game. Even though I feel like the Joseph game was a little bit more 50-50,
Yeah,
but Bijan being on the scene more consistently probably had a couple more people choosing him. And it's funny, those two upset games are the games that I got wrong in predictions. So I had Bijan
facts. I
winning
got those.
and I
Yeah, I
had
got
Book
those.
winning.
Yeah, I got those
Yeah, so
wrong too for sure.
I'm kind of calling those upsets from my personal perspective. But like I said, like B Artist had a huge following before he got onto the scene. So you had those people that knew he was gonna come and put on the show.
For sure. Who are your I'm not gonna ask you your top five because everybody be doing that.
Yeah.
Who is your like bucket getters though? Who you feel like are like the elite bucket getters? Give me like a five of those. Like they ain't gotta
Okay.
necessarily be, you know what I'm saying? But who
Yeah,
you think
yeah,
really
yeah.
get to a bucket for real?
Okay. In terms of bucket getters, I feel like you got to go Nas.
For sure.
Nas has to go on the list somewhere just because he's so efficient at all levels. Like he can knock down a three ball, he can bully you and get to the rim, he could shoot the mid range, and he has counters. Um, Scoob, I think Scoob is the best shooter on the scene. And I feel like he's a very sneaky bucket getter. You know what I'm saying? Like he may not have the flashiest moves, but he has the most efficient moves. You know,
For
like
sure.
he's gonna get you in 1 to 2 moves, maybe a counter if he needs to, and he's gonna score. Um, Zay, funny enough, because like his game is just so straightforward. You know, like I always say, I feel like Zay has the most foolproof game on the one-on-one scene. Like
Facts.
he doesn't require much. Like I mean, honestly, he requires a lot of stamina because to go downhill consistently and consistently bump somebody and have them bump you back, and you got to contain all of that. Like that takes a lot of stamina. But in terms of the game itself, it's a very simplified game, and that's why he's only lost once.
Yeah.
Rob, obviously, I think Rob obviously can shoot from 40, shoot from half court. And he can get downhill as well. So that's four. So we got Rob, Nas, Zay, Scoob, and then there's so many different people. And it's funny because this is basically my top five.
Yeah.
Um like
It
now
be
that I'm
like that
thinking about
sometimes.
it,
It be like
it's
that
base
sometimes.
it's basically my top five, bro. Um like I want to go somebody that's not on the top five, but like I feel like the top five is the top five because they're like, they're
Yeah, who
such
they
good
are. Yeah,
bucket
yeah.
getters.
Yeah.
Um Shoot, Keon, bro. I feel like Keon is so elusive. He's so unpredictable, I feel like. Like somebody like Scoob, he did beat him, but Keon did start getting his game going towards the end of it. Like he can score on so many different types of defenders and in so many different ways. Like he kind of has to be up there.
Yeah, yeah. See, mine would be. See, I thought you was gonna go a little bit more top five, but cause
Yeah,
mine really is like Nesco, like
I
Keon,
forgot
like
about Nesco. Yeah,
yeah, like I'm really disappointed he not able to play right now, bro. Cause I feel like he would
I know.
him with certain matchups is definitely the storylines we need. Um, and I ain't gonna lie, the small guards I feel like are taking over, bro. Like a lot of
Oh,
them can
for
get to
sure.
a bucket, bro. Like Zoe has really been showing me a lot for real. Malik showed me a lot in his in their little series they did back in Charlotte with the little
Yeah.
I think it was a 3v3. Bro, he showed
Mm-hmm.
me a lot with that. A lot. Cause they always
Yeah.
got the weight class thing. And I really think that really does play a part. Cause like certain matchups, bro, you can't give too much of like you can't go too negative on the person who lost if they're like outmatched and physically. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Of course.
saying?
Yeah.
Like that matters even in real basketball. That's where there's positions. That's why there's
Absolutely.
sizes.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? So, but speaking of that though, I do want to ask you this because everybody was flooding my comments, bro. What do you think about the ref and being, you know what I'm saying, you being there in that Cam and LP game, bro? Because they was going crazy in my comments, bro, talking about it looked like Lay was trying to let Cam come back and all that, bro. And I'm just like, bro, that's not
Yeah.
lay, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's not
it's
lay.
not, bro. I think it's an overreaction. It's actually funny because I watched Lay run from half court to baseline to call a ref for LP. You know what I'm saying? Like LP
Yeah,
got fouled, Meach was baseline, and Meach didn't call it. I watched Lay run from there. Like that's supposed to be Meach's call.
yeah, yeah,
I watched Lay literally run from half court to the baseline to call the foul. I feel like I don't know. Like people I feel like they kind of go extreme when it comes to refs. Like I I don't understand it because at the end of the day, like I do feel like they call the games fairly. Now trials, that's a completely different story. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Trials was two completely different refs. But in terms of Cam versus LP, I do feel like it was ref fairly. They shot like Cam shot maybe I think Cam shot three more free throws than
Yeah,
LP.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it wasn't that much, it wasn't that disproportionate to where you can try to act like it was this insane foul discrepancy. And LP missed like five free throws.
Bro.
So I think LP missing the free throws, that kind of altered the perception a little bit more because it's like if he makes those free throws and the score goes as like if he makes those free throws and it adds onto his score, that's like almost less opportunities for them to call future ones, if that makes sense.
Facts.
So I don't know. I just feel like that's always been like an over exaggeration when it comes to ref. And I don't think he was trying to let LP. I mean, I don't think he was trying to let Cam come back. The ref, I mean, the whistle obviously gets tighter as the game closes in
For sure.
because like you don't want the game to end on a free throw, but if you have to, you will.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't think it was any like overly non-calling. You know what I'm saying? Like it,
yeah.
it was fairly ref in my opinion.
And out of those five that he missed, because he did go 3 for 8. Out of those five that
Yeah,
he missed, two of those was to end the game essentially. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's like, bro, I
hmm
don't get where people is coming with that from because he would have ended the game on either one of those possessions. A couple of those extra fouls wouldn't have
yeah,
came because Cam would have
hmm
never got to go on that run. Um,
exactly.
LP got to get his stamina right. That's just bottom line, bro. I feel like he got
Mm-hmm.
tired, bro. He started closing out a little bit too tight on defense, bro. And you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, he allowed Cam to get back in the game way more than he should have.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not finna blame Lay for that. Like when he was calling carries and travels in the zone
Yeah.
in the zone and Dre game, I was
Bro,
like, oh yeah,
word.
Lay is on one. Like
Mm-hmm.
he not
Yeah.
playing today. You feel
It
me?
was
So.
like back to back travels and carries that
Yeah,
he was
bruh.
calling, like
Yeah, bruh. Like, and that shit be really happening. I really wish they'd call that more. And I'm glad he did that to kind of open that Pandora's box to
mm-hmm.
whatever other
Yeah.
refs, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever other
Mm-hmm.
refs, y'all got to start calling
You
that,
got
bro.
to, bro. You got to, bro.
Like, I just watched the Tello and Lat game. I just reacted to that because
Yeah.
I didn't really remember the pay-per-view like that because so much shit didn't happen. So I'm like, let me go watch
Mm-hmm.
this game, bruh.
Yeah.
And he carried like, hey, I'm talking about put that motherfucker
Uh-huh.
like on a
Yeah.
dinner plate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
man, bruh. So, but yeah, though that game was crazy though. Who you think? What would be your ideal matchup? For like Boog since he lost to B artist, like what you think the next thing is for him? Like who would you want to see him play?
Okay. Um, honestly, I want to see him play like a D Stan. You know what I'm saying? Like D Stan just won on trials. I think Bug just lost on the summit. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's a great opportunity because D Stan is highly respected within the one-on-one community. Um, and that's a chance for D Stan to move up even higher because Bug is also very well respected. So I think somebody like a D Stan would be a good game. Um, if not D Stan, he's played almost all the small guards already. Like, maybe a possible Malik rematch, because they both did lose. Malik lost versus Zoe.
Yeah,
Boog lost versus B Artist. So I think a rematch between the two of them would be fire. Um, honestly, yeah, those two for sure. Definitely Malik or somebody like a D Stan. Yeah.
for sure. Um, what about B artist though? I ain't gonna lie, I love his game. Of course we
Mm-hmm.
don't know what to expect from certain players seeing them, you know what I'm saying, for the first time, but
Yeah.
who would you like to see him play? Cause I would love to see him play Sid, bro. I would love
That
to
would
see
be
him play like
fire.
a Sid, bro, or
Yeah.
even Mo low key. Like that would be low
Mm-hmm.
key a tough ass game. But who would you like to
Yeah.
see B artist play?
Yeah. So I had seen TNC's post about who they think he should play next. I actually commented like I feel like Tello low key would be a pretty good game for B artists. Somebody like a Tello. I was thinking like medium guards. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
somebody like I think BLS commented Scar. I think Scar versus B artists would be a good game. Somebody like Kel. Like just kind of start giving him established guys who have been on the scene for some time. I know Tello's kind of new, but somebody like a Scar or a Kel, it'll be like that experience versus that raw talent. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And I think B artist has proven that he can last in the scene. You know what I'm saying? Boog is not an easy first game on the scene, and he won the game. So I think giving him somebody who has a little bit more of their footing in the scene. Not exactly a top 10 player. I feel like Keller's borderline top 10. That could definitely change after the LP game, but just somebody who's been around for a little while and can really test him.
yeah, for sure. Speaking of, let's shift a little bit then. Off the dribble, we know OTD Elite coming up. Let's talk
Yes,
about them
sir.
matchups. I gotta hear what you
Yeah.
think. You think about them matchups.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna ask you first about the Zay and Walt Lemon.
Okay. Um, I got Zay winning that. You know what I'm saying? I got Zay winning just because I know who Walt Lemon is. I know he's nice. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He's compared to D Rose when he was in the G League and everything in the league. Um, but it's always just that adjustment from ones to fives. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
we've seen it time and time again to where somebody has an illustrious 5-on-5 career. We just saw it with
I
Vander
like that
Blue.
word though. I like that word, pimp, for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Illustrious.
I appreciate that.
That was exquisite right there. You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But like they have all these amazing careers, and they come into the ones, and it's just like it's a completely different game,
yeah,
and that's why like I'm never just gonna go out and say the fives guy is gonna win because I know there's an adjustment to be made.
yeah,
Um, and then Zay is like not a that's like
yeah,
the worst guy you want to play your first time coming onto the scene. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's
Like
Goliath.
it's a great opportunity to really jumpstart your career early, but you're also playing a juggernaut
Yeah,
first run in. Like you gotta adjust to just the one-on-one game in general, while having somebody like Zay in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot to deal with. So I got Zay winning that one, but I think Walt is gonna find a way to make his adjustment and make it a good game. But I just think it'll be done a little too late.
Yeah, see, I'm pretty much the same way. That's probably why I got the Boog and the other game wrong. Just going off experience, like you kind
Hmm.
of we going into it like we done seen enough times. Like these new motherfuckers pros are not coming into the space. Like when you don't have that experience, it matters, bro. Like
It does
not having the
absolutely.
experience matters. It matters tremendously. Next game though, what you think about this Scoob and Jerome Randall, bro? I ain't gonna lie, I feel like that's probably the most 50-50 game on the card for real.
That's a fact, bro. And I feel like, Jerome, he earned that matchup. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like jumping on the scene, your first game on the scene, you know what I'm saying? He's somebody who has proven that it can happen. You know, the adjustment from ones to fives. Like your first game on the scene, you playing a Nesco and you beat him. You know what I'm saying? And then to play Lat, who is also highly respected within the one-on-one scene. I definitely think him getting somebody like Uncle Scoob is a well-deserved game. It seems like they have that mutual respect for each other. I do got Scoob winning that by like I don't know, 5 to 7 points. I just feel like Scoob is too much of a tactician. He's gonna come into the game too prepared. And I also do feel like he's the slightly bigger player. So even though he's, primarily a shooter, I definitely can see him because I just feel like he's the type of player to use whatever is to his advantage. Like he's gonna take what they give you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like if you are coming into the scene and you're playing him as a smaller player, I do see him taking something like that and using it to his advantage consistently. So I would say I got Scoop winning like maybe like 30, 24, 23 maybe.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. I can kind of see it, but I also can kind of I haven't seen them now aside from the we're not even gonna, I'm not gonna count the five dribbles or the
Yeah.
travels and shit like that, right? Overall, I didn't really see where Lat could stop Jerome at all for real. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like
Yeah.
he had a counter to everything. And I don't know, like Scoob is another person just like Lat that they get off their feet a lot, bro. Like he got him with
Yeah.
that hezzy a lot, baiting him, setting him
Hmm.
up, like and Scoob is kind of antsy like that on defense too. So it's just like you know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
Man, he
It's a
went
tricky one.
yeah, he one of them players too that have had a lot of comebacks. He's had to come back
Yes.
a lot, like Moon and shit. They had to
Uh-huh.
come back a lot to show, you know what I'm saying? They really have to
Hmm.
lock in and shit like that. So
Yeah.
um yeah, I think that's the most 50-50 game on the card, bro, for real though.
It
Uh
is. I will say I'm glad that Jerome stood on the scene after beating Nesco. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah, cuz he
I'm
could have
glad that
peeled after
he
that.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm glad that he has like that respect for the scene. And that's why he beat Nesco. Because he came in understanding the scene, respecting the scene, and respecting Nesco. And actually preparing for it like somebody who's coming from fives to ones is supposed to. So I'm just glad that he like has that respect for the scene and is willing to stay and just compete and play all these games because he's so skilled and he's just such a fun player to watch that like being able to see him go against those scenes top guys is like it's just cool, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I do fuck with it, bro. And Jerome is definitely a legend, dog. Like
Yeah.
I love to see that shit. So what you think about this Keem and ISO Tay game? First, I'm gonna ask you this real quick. If ISO Tay loses this game,
Mm-hmm.
what you think that does for him?
Sheesh, man. If ISO Tate loses this game, I think it's just like it's gonna be no pay-per-views for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it was kind of like that after the Fambi loss, and then you know what I'm saying. He kind of built it back up a little bit after beating Ahmad, but I just feel like Trials isn't necessarily pay-per-view. Like
facts.
Trials is the free stream, so
And
I
Ahmad
think he
not
just
really a
has
big
to.
name, you know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
not
Uh
really a
huh.
name. He not somebody who you if he would have won the game prior, losing that game like on some humbug, maybe point or two,
Yeah.
wouldn't have been too crazy. It would have been like, okay, bro, just kind of caught you slipping. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was a must-win game. You know what I'm saying?
For
And like,
sure. For sure.
yeah,
And Ahmad tested him. Like Ahmad was somebody
yeah,
who I
yeah,
personally like. I got to speak with him and chill with him almost the most during the trip. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a
word,
super easy guy to talk to, just super down to earth. You know what I'm saying? Like he introduced himself to me, And we just got to talking right away. He was just telling me about his overseas career. And he was just like, yo, like, I just want to come in and hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Yeah.
even want to spar. Like, he didn't do no sparring. He was shooting on the opposite rim. So, you know how, like, Frigga facility, they got the table and then they got, like, the big curtains and everything?
Yeah, yeah.
He was shooting on the other side of the curtains by himself with, I think it was just, it was somebody else who played in the Summit. Not the Summit, the Trials, the guy who played 50 cal. He
Oh
was
yeah,
just shooting
yeah.
around with him
Okay.
for most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I kind of understood. Like I didn't see much of his game, but I kind of had a feeling he was going to come in and put on a show. So I think that was a respectable win for Tay, just because Ahmad showed in that game what he can do. But somebody like Keem, who is established on the scene and has wins, he's the heavyweight champ right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Still,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing with those belts, but he is still the heavyweight champ. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. They haven't been defending it or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And in this game, like I don't know, is it for the belt or not? You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but I definitely think, a game like this against somebody who is established, like it's a must win. I think both of these games are must wins, especially after the Ty Mitchell game,
Yeah.
So
Time entry game was bad.
um
That
it
game was
was,
bad.
it was. And that was another guy that I got the chance to really speak with and just chill with during the trip. Ty Mitchell, super down to earth guy, but he put on a clinic. You know what I'm saying? I was rooting for him against Judah because of that. But it just didn't turn out the way it was supposed to. But I just think the Keem game, bro, he has to win this. And I feel like if he does lose, no pay-per-views for a little while, which is tough because with where we're at with YouTube right now, like there's not a lot of seasons going on. Like TNC's been doing trials all summer. Um, Ball is Life. They just did a season recently, but no off the dribble seasons recently. They had the one that was after OTD Elite that they're releasing their videos from.
Yeah.
So this is just a must win if he wants to continue to get those big games, which I think he's gonna do it in a very close game. I kind of think they're both on a little bit of a redemption tour of their own. Because Keem lost to Reese and Mike Harden.
Yeah.
Tay's taking his losses, so they both know, like, yo, we got to get back in this win column. Like, it's time now, So
For
it
sure.
should be a really good game, though.
For sure. I had hit Keem up for a little interview and shit, and he like September. I'm like, word, okay. I'm already
Okay,
knowing. Yeah,
okay,
he locked. You know what I'm saying? He
that's
ain't
what's
trying
up. That's what's
no
up.
no distractions. I'm like, I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I feel that for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Cause after the 30th, every talk could just be that much smoother. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
get that
for
dub.
sure.
So I definitely respect that, and I'm definitely looking forward to that game though, because it is a must-win game. I feel like pressure is slightly leaning more towards Tay, just because
Yeah,
he's been in the
definitely.
scene a lot longer, and I feel like the expectations are a lot higher for the more veteran players. It's
Yeah,
it's not as much room for error. You know what I'm saying? Like even
yeah.
with the Kill and LP game, like a lot of people are taking LP, but Kill, it's a lot riding for Kill. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you feel me? He been on a nice little streak. He just had a good comeback win over L.
Oh,
Ellis and shit
Ellis,
like
yeah.
that. So it's like, it's a lot riding on this for him too, bro. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel that. So speaking of that game though, who you like in that game? LP.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, LP or Kel?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, bro! Like
Oh, did you
that
say?
one
Hold
is
on. Did
so.
you say who you like in Keem and Isote?
I said I got Tay. I said
Okay.
I got
Okay.
Tay,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I had a lot of respect for Tay and just his overall perseverance, bro.
For
Because
sure.
so Friday, right, the day of the face-offs, um, I was catching a ride with some of the players to the hotel, and Tay is coming out the hotel to get into the car with us, right? His one of his eyes is completely swollen shut, like
It looked
complete.
black, bro. Like I peeped that shit too.
Yes, completely swollen shut. Basically, he was in a gym with somebody the day before sparring, and they like
Caught an
need him in
elbow.
his eye.
Damn.
Need him because he caught him with a pump fake. They tried to jump, need him right in his eye. His eye is completely swollen shut. And Pat was telling him, like, yo, bro, like, are you sure like you're gonna be good to play tomorrow? That he's like, bro, like, I'm gonna just have to thug it out. You know what I'm saying? See what it's like. He's like, as long as I could get some type of vision through this eye, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
to have something like that and still take the game, still go through with the game. I will say the day of the trials, like his eye looked a lot better. But to just in that moment still be like, bro, like, nah, I gotta take this game. I gotta play this game and finish this through. Like, that's a very respectable thing. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it looked like he was boxing, bro, for real.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Completely swollen shut, mad purple and black. And he's like, bro, I just gotta see. He was wearing sunglasses in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, he just was like, bro, I gotta get this game going though. So I definitely a lot of respect for him for that. And I would say I got him winning them.
Yeah, I definitely, bro, I peeped that shit. I was watching. I'm like, damn, is his eye black? Like, what happened? I'm like, he had
Yeah,
to catch a bow or something. You know what I'm saying?
bro.
Shoot,
Yeah,
hooping around and
bro.
shit. And that's so bad, bro. Cause you need your goddamn eyes, Cuddy. Yeah,
Bro, yeah.
you need them eyes, gang. But yeah, LP and
LP and
Kale
Kel.
though. Yeah, LP and
Yeah,
Kale. So
bro.
what you like in that game?
Man, I want to go LP. You know what I'm saying? Especially after watching him versus Cam, it's like I want to go LP, but Kel is somebody who can prolong the game and have these amazing comebacks. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like and with LP, he's actually a pretty fast player. You know what I'm saying? He's a pretty fast player. I do feel like he can catch Kel off the dribble a couple times, getting downhill, probably get by him a couple times. Um, I feel like this is like a tactician versus a highly talented player. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Kel is one of the smartest minds in the game, and LP has some of the most talent in the game. So
Yeah.
it really just comes down to who executes better. The one thing that I will say is kind of a red flag to me is LP saying that he didn't watch no film on Kel. You know what I'm saying? Like he I feel like he kind of feels like he has his game plan mapped out already in terms of just like, okay, I don't got to give him the jab three, and I don't got to let him get no straight line drives. You know what I'm saying? But Kel is somebody who's going to hear that, and you know what I'm saying, work on something else.
And do
You know,
something
so
else. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally. So it's a very tricky one. Um, I want to say I got LP like 30-28, bro.
Yeah.
30-28. I feel like it'll be a very similar game to LP and Cam, where I could see LP going up big and I could see Kel going on a crazy run to come back, and then LP closes it out with a layup three, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. I feel like the biggest thing with LP in order to kind of help with that stamina issue for real is when you notice like whenever LP's not shooting, he's a fucking bullet. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going
Yeah.
as fast as possible. And I feel like those fast ass bursts is what's tiring him down. You know what I'm
Oh, for
saying? Because
sure.
he'll go on a run, he'll go on a roll where he just pulling because you know he's tired. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I feel like Kale can take advantage of that. And that's what I was saying too. I'm like Cam need to go take him off the dribble, just take off, bro, to the basket game. You're
Yes.
faster than
Yeah.
him foot speed.
Hmm.
You gotta get him tired, bro. You feel me? You can't let him just sit back there and load up and shoot because that's what he want to do anyway. He don't want to exert a lot
Yeah.
of energy. But yeah, I think I kind of look at it the same way. I got LP if he can start the way he started, bro. He was basically good for 24 points. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
yes.
Like
It could have been 30-5,
it
bro.
could have been 30-5, gang, and that was so crazy to even look at in real time. Cause
Yeah.
like I can just imagine what it was like being on there, like, like bro, like looking at that shit,
Bro,
like, bro, what,
I'm looking at this
dog,
shit
like,
live. I'm like, bro, do you know who IJ is?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bro, I'm standing next to IJ. We looking at the score. I mean, I had picked LP to win, but he had picked Cam to win. And he's like, no, bro, no.
yeah,
Like, you feel me?
bro,
Like it was about to get crazy. But
that was
I am
crazy.
glad that Cam made it a good game. You know what I'm saying? I am
Yeah, for
glad.
sure.
Like, because even though like if I have somebody winning, it's not me wanting the other person to lose. Like I still want a good game,
Yeah,
and I'm not mad if the other person wins. It's just like based off of what I see, who I think is gonna win. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So
yeah,
like I'm a big fan of just both players, and I'm a big fan of watching good games. So like I was hyped to watch Cam go on that run, even if it meant my prediction was gonna be wrong. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like I
yeah,
never cared to be right or wrong, but
yeah.
it was just crazy to watch, bro, for real.
See, I was kind of torn because I had LP winning, but I'm from North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah,
I'm always going for the home team.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
if
yeah.
you feel me, I'm kind of like B Ellis in that situation. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Literally.
I gotta go for the home front. Like when Rob playing, I'm going for Rob. Like it don't really
Hmm.
it don't
Of
matter.
course,
You
yeah,
feel
of
me?
course.
So yeah, I definitely was like, damn, I just wanted to be a good game. I didn't want that 30-5.
Yes,
That
yeah,
thirty to
bro.
five, I'm like, Cam, you gotta at least get to 20, bro. Like
Hmm.
you gotta at least
At
get to
least,
20,
bro.
bro. You gotta at
At
least
least, bro.
that shit was oh my God, that would have been so bad,
Yeah,
bro. That
bro.
would have been
Because it's like after the run he just went on, and then to lose in that fashion, like you know what I'm saying? That would have hurt his stock. But him making it a good game, making it a lot more respectable, did a lot for him as well.
yeah, for sure. And Cam's still a dog, and them storylines with him. aside from him calling out Rob, like him in school, that's still gonna be must see TV. Him and
Oh yeah,
another him and Moon would still be must see TV. Him and Keon, I feel like they kind of ducking each other because they friends.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
bro, and I don't fuck with that, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, whatever. Because it's like you calling out Rob because that's your homie too, but you ain't calling
Yep.
out Keon. You feel me? Like,
Yeah, bro.
nah, bro,
I
you
feel
and
like that
Keon
could
need
have
to line it up.
happened. Yeah, that could have
Yeah,
been happened, bro. Some in
yeah.
'03 or 4. You
Yeah,
feel me? Like,
yeah. That
come
could
on,
have been
bro. But
Keon's next match after beating Kale, to be honest.
literally,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
bro. You
saying?
feel me?
Like
But
after he beat Kale and shit.
yeah, we'll see if it happens though. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
for
saying?
sure.
At least Keon's still on the scene though. You feel me? Like I
Yeah,
wasn't sure if he was gonna go to college or whatnot, but he just got announced he's playing Trey Croft. So
yeah,
Keon's still gonna be around. So hopefully that does happen soon, bro.
yeah. I need that. I ain't gonna lie, I need that. And then you know, they since they had to pivot from the Zay and C4 game, you know, Zay
Yeah.
C4 playing Dooley. What you think about that game? Who you got in that game?
Honestly, I want to say I got C4. I'm still pretty high on C4. Um Dooley's a tough cover though. Dooley is a very tough cover. He's a how do I say this? Like he's just very tricky to guard. You know what I'm saying? Like he has counters, he can shoot the ball, he can get to the rim. He's, played somebody like a Bruce. Like he's played a whole bunch of different type of archetypes, but I just feel like C4's athleticism puts him so high up in my personal just like skill level. You know what I'm saying? He can shoot the ball, he can attack the rim. He has so many different ways that he can score. But I have that one being a close game as well. Like I got C4 winning like maybe 30, 26, 27. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely think that game is a lot closer probably than a lot of other people probably would just because like I done seen Dooley enough time, like you said, play a bunch of different style players, different caliber
Hmm.
players. And the only thing I think his biggest downfall is he's a streaky shooter, bro.
Yeah,
Like some games Dooley don't miss. Other
yeah,
games he can't buy a bucket. And it's like, bro, you gotta go to something else, get downhill. I feel
that's a
like
fact.
a lot of the players don't get comfortable with that jumper. You know what I'm saying? They go
Oh
off
yeah,
of them you know, playing around, shit like that, and you feeling it.
uh-huh.
But during the game, bro, if that's not working, like I feel like you should start from the inside out. Especially players like Rob and them
Yes,
who do
yeah,
have a better jumper, who players who gonna play you up closer. You got that drive every time, bro. They playing you up too far. You feel me?
literally, yeah.
Fuck that float. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of them wasted that.
Hmm.
That's a waste of dribble with that float, especially if you're not going to
Yeah,
the float in the shot. Like everybody can't pull that shit that fast. Like Rob, Bijan, even Keon. Like I watched that Keon and
yeah.
Moo game over. Bro, he shoots so fucking fast, game. Like, and the elevation,
Yeah,
bro. I paused that bitch game. This nigga like fucking 5 feet off the ground. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
bro.
he damn near
Yes.
looking at the rim. Like everybody doesn't
Hmm.
have that. And like Dooley, for an example, like Dooley, he got a good elevation, but he kind of got a flat shot. He don't shoot. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Over top. So
Yeah,
it's like, bro, if that shit not going, bro, you big as hell. Take your big ass to the
yeah,
lane,
bro.
draw a
Literally.
foul, something, see a couple go in. You feel me? Like it's good,
Yeah,
bro. Like
yeah.
I don't really know, bro.
That's a fact. I also think like players start forcing threes because they get frustrated. Like
Yeah,
a shot that they've made so many times in the gym, in a shoot around, spar, whatever it is, like it starts missing, and then they start feeling like, okay, I have to find it. Like I
yeah,
have to find this shot before I go to anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen that before, to where like a player will repeatedly try to shoot the same shot just because they feel like it's supposed to go in. Like they've seen it go in so many different occasions, and now it's just off. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta find this. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? And then they'll start getting to something else. So it's like it's either they're getting comfortable or they're frustrated. You know what I'm saying? But like
yeah.
you said, if somebody starts with like an inside out game, if you get like 6 easy points getting to the rim before you shot a single three, you know what I'm saying? Like that opens up so much for you, bro.
Bro, and that's why, bro, people criticize Zay a lot for his shooting, but like realistically, bro, Zay is one of the smartest people, bro, because he plays
Yeah.
inside out. That's why his game is so effective, bro. He's wearing you down so much that you damn near ready to give him the shot.
Yes.
You ready to give it to him. Like he's been
Yeah.
proven that he can hit those shots and people still give it to him. Bijan gave it to him multiple times and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like what
not
do you,
like you feel me? He can shoot. He just chooses not to.
he
You know what
just
I'm saying?
choosing
Like,
not to. You feel me?
yeah.
Like, bro, a lot of people have a very quick first step. Rob, Lat, like, bro, they got quick ass first steps, bro. Get to that fucking rim, get to that Baja, wear them down, keep the defense on their heels, bro. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's only if certain people like ISO Tay is good at that float. Keon is good at that float. Um, Kale, I feel like Kale is really good at the float too, even though he more the jab guy now. You know what I'm saying? But I feel
Yeah.
like Kale
Uh-huh.
can really get to that
Yeah.
float. But everybody that float shit, bro, they need to just stop doing that shit. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That should
Or
be
at least
pissing
be
me
more
off.
decisive with it. You know, like
Bro,
it
immediately,
could be one
bro.
float and go. It's usually it could be. So I've seen guys do three floats. You know what I'm saying? Like you got four dribbles and three of them is you in the same spot. Like it's 2K. You know what I'm saying? Like I can understand. One float and go. It possibly even two max. You know what I'm saying? I think that was something that Hay used to struggle with, or is kind of struggling with now. Like, and
Add
I
too
feel like
many.
it's
You
yeah,
just add
it's
too many.
overthinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you have so I feel like certain players have too much of a bag to where like they have
yeah,
so much that they can get to that they don't know what to get to. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like that's why certain guys with a more simplified game like a Hoodie Kel, they don't do as much of that because they have a couple things that they know they want to get to and they're gonna get to it. But with somebody like a Tay who has so many different things that he can get to that it's almost like it's an information overload. When you're in that flow, it's like I could do this, but I could also do this, but I could also do this. Let me just take another flow and then it's a cycle, and then you end up forcing something.
yeah. I feel like that's where Zay and Scoob though with their training, bro. What I've noticed, where they're separating themselves and they talking about they married to work, they are they already have their mind made up before the ball even gets handed to them. Period.
Yeah.
They already know exactly what they're doing, bro, and they're going straight to it. You know what I'm saying? Like the counters come in if you start to cut it off. You know what I'm saying? Or if you
Yes.
play
Yeah.
if you play the defense the right way, that's when the counters come. Like for him when he did that half spin on Keon and all that like bro, that came off of a counter because he wasn't doing that shit. He wasn't,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like you don't see
Yeah.
school really do all that. You know what I'm saying? But
Literally.
like that
Literally.
shit just came out of nowhere. Like oh shit, like what the fuck?
Word.
He went kind of crazy, right? Uh, but yeah, man. To go, let me ask you this too. Let me go into this, bro. What do you feel like would be a good criteria to establish the rankings, bro? Because I've had some ideas in my head, bro, but I feel like there needs to be a criteria. There needs to be something that we all can go off of that sits in stone the rankings, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like me personally, I'm just very big on wins. Like, who have you beat and how have you beat them, right? Like, let's say you got two guys who beat the same person, right?
Yeah,
But one guy beat them 30-12, the other guy beat them 30-26. You know what I'm saying? I think the guy who beat them 30-12 might get a little bit more of a nod to me. And I'm more big on the wins than the skill. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
don't tell me that this guy is more skilled. Like, for example, right? Let's say like I'm gonna just throw two random names out there, right? Let's say BJ and Hoodie Kel. Just for example, not
yeah,
even
yeah,
really like, somebody might say, BJ is more skilled than Hoodie Kel, right? But if they check up and Kel beats BJ, then the skill really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I don't
yeah,
like to apply skill into the wins. I mean, into the rankings because it's like it's all about who gets the job done at the end of the day. So I think
yeah.
it's more so just like
Because
who
everybody's
have you
skilled.
beat? Yeah, everybody got skill. It's like who have you beat? How have you beat them? And I also think that pay-per-view wins factor in a little bit more. So like if two guys beat the same guy, same exact score, one beat them in a season, the other one beat them in a pay-per-view, I'm gonna give the pay-per-view win a little bit more of a boost in the rankings. You know what I'm saying? So it's still very nuanced. And I do power rankings based off of like recent activity. Like if I was to do a top 10 all time, it would be a very different list compared to like my current top 10. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
So
sure.
it's still very tricky though. It's very tricky to try to because everybody has such different criterias. But me personally is just like who have you beat, how have you beat them, and pay-per-view wins, you know?
Yeah,
How do
yeah.
you how do you factor it in?
I think see, I'm gonna be all the way real. I really just base it on who I mainly base it on who have you beat. You know what I'm saying? Like because for an
Yeah.
example, right? Um Let me think. Let me think of somebody. Like, okay, I'm gonna use somebody that people love to discredit, right? Frigga.
Hmm.
People love to
Yes,
discredit
bro.
Frigga.
I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that
I'm
shit,
sick
bro.
of that, right? Because it's always
Yeah.
the who has he played. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a
Hmm.
lot of that comes up, and that's something that I feel like is prevalent when it comes down to now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like you can't overlook somebody like a Keon for somebody that like the people that LP beat, for an example. You ain't really beat nobody, gang. You know what I'm saying? That's why these two wins right here mean a lot
Means
more.
so much.
They mean
Yes. Yeah.
that much more because the people who did matter, you didn't beat them. You beat all these niggas you should have beat. So now these games are the niggas that yeah, they're up on that caliber of shit. Let's see if you can beat
Yeah.
them. You know what I'm saying? Because him beating Pep and all that other shit, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm not looking at that. Pep not even playing no more. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
He's not. Yeah.
getting a win over people who don't even really ain't even really staying in the scene. Like I'm gonna be real. I feel like that what's it called? That Robin DA game. Like
Hmm.
over time, that game is gonna fizzle out if DA doesn't continue to stay in the scene.
That's a
Like
fact. Yeah.
nobody's really gonna give a fuck about that game. It's really just an in and out thing because of the storyline. And don't get me wrong, I get it. The storyline is fire. You know what I'm saying? The storyline is fire and all that shit. But like, come on, bro. Like DA really not trying to play
Yeah,
for real.
bro.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, I really base it off that. Like, who have you played? And I don't know if I really look at the same of like how you like you what weight how you beat them or like the point gap unless to me it's convincing on a they couldn't do anything.
Hmm.
Sometimes shot just not falling. Like
Yeah.
ISO Tay and Ty Mitchell. Tay was getting
Yeah.
some very good looks. They was not falling.
Yeah.
The Dre and Zoe game. Zoe was getting a lot of fucking middies, bro. A lot
Yeah. He
of
was.
wide open middies. That if them bitches
Yes.
go in, that game
It's
does
a
not look
different
like
game.
that. That game does not
Yeah.
look like that. And I'm a realist when it comes to that, bro. I can't help but be that. You feel me? Because I've been in them situations where
Yeah.
my shit not falling, and I've been in them
Hmm.
situations where that bitch clicking. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
fuck it. You feel me? I'm pulling this bitch from
Yeah.
half court. You know what I'm saying? Just like with the Dwayne situation, like Dwayne just 30'd somebody. If he play bruh again, you think bruh not gonna score no more? Like,
He
you know what
gonna
I'm
get
saying?
something, bro.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
come on, bruh. Like, that's why it's so rare to see that type of shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's so rare to see that type of shit. I feel like in the Cam game, like, Cam game was so low at first because Cam was settling for a lot of shit when
Yeah.
he second half, when he started getting downhill, bruh, he got wide open layups.
Yeah.
You
He was
smoking.
shooting. Yeah. First half, one legged top of the. You feel me? Like
Gang,
just throwing.
he doing
Yeah.
in and out pull. It's like, bro, what are you
Yeah.
doing, bro? Like the whole game, I'm like, bro, what Cam? That's not you. Like I feel like, and he threw up and shit. I feel like the nerves is what got to him, bro, and that's a real thing. Like
That is.
I'm not finna judge a nigga off of nerves, bro. Cause just
Yeah.
like with the Rob and Zay game, bro, 100 times out of 100, can he hit that shot, bro? Like it's gonna be different outcomes. You feel me? And I
Word,
love
bro.
Rob, bro, but like
Yeah.
that's adrenaline. That's you know what I'm saying, bro? And
That's
like,
just like the stars aligning. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bruh,
you feel me?
you know what I'm saying? So like, I really feel like I look at that a little bit differently, bro. I don't really necessarily look at the like the way they beat them. Like it's just
Hmm.
I don't know. Sometimes you
Okay,
kind of
look, can I
gotta.
give you an example?
Okay, yeah.
So look, right? We'll go back to Frigga, right? This is like, back when Frigga and Nas was like a real debate, right?
Right, right, right.
So they had both played ISO Tay at the time, right?
Right.
And when Nas played Tay, he beat him like very, very convincingly. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And this is something that Nas used as an argument. He beat Tay very convincingly. And when Frigga played Tay, it was more so like a comeback game. You know what I'm saying? He had to come
Yeah.
back and beat him. So I think certain things like that is like, we both played the same guy. I beat him very convincingly, like because at that time it was legit like it was almost 1A, 1B in terms
Yeah.
of who was better. You know what I'm saying? So you got to like I think that's when how you beat them comes into factor when the debate is that close. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. But
if it's not as close of a debate, we can just go off of we both beat them. It is what it is. What are your other wins? But if we gotta go of one person and it's how you beat them, like Nas made that game look a little easy, and Frigga struggled a little bit more. Like they both won, but Frigga's game, it looked like he struggled a little bit more with Tay. And I think that's in terms of like, okay, now we got to go into how you beat them. You know what I'm saying? Like that, if that makes it make a little bit more sense.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel you wholeheartedly. But see, my counter would be right. This is why I feel like they put in the weight classes now, right?
Yeah,
So peep me. Frigga's not Tay is fairly more sizable than
yeah.
Frigga.
Frigga's like medium guard.
Right, you feel me?
Yeah.
Tay is a little bit bigger. Nas is bigger than him. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
like
of course. Yeah,
he's
yeah,
supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like that's how
Of
I view
course.
that. You feel me?
I
Like
get that.
that's
I
why I look at
absolutely
that
get
like
that.
that. Like he's supposed like Fricka's game and his strengths don't come in the post. That's where Tay's strengths come in at. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Tay getting to that early on is where you gonna cook Frigga like that every time, bro. He's
Yes, absolutely.
not a post game player. He's a guard. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? He's ready to guard
Yeah.
you on a perimeter. He can move his feet laterally, all that shit. But you start posting him up and doing them pushback Kobe fadeaways and shit like that, bro.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna get him
Yeah,
every time, bro. So
of course.
um like that's why I look at that. I view that differently until we get set on where the weight classes really are. Like I feel like that's where we
Yeah.
really need to have that debate at, because that's why I said B artists would play good against like maybe a little bit taller but not too much, because I feel like his athleticism puts him up a little bit higher in regards to the
Yes.
being able to contend with that versus like a
Yeah.
who would I think would be a mixed match like a okay, I'm gonna use it because it already happened. That when Left Hand Dom was calling out Zay and they played,
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah,
that's a
bro.
complete and utter mixed match.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that was yeah.
That's a complete and utter mixed match, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And like I wouldn't like judge. We ain't even thinking about that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
bro. Because people knew it was a mismatch. You know what
There
I'm
was,
saying?
you
Like
feel
that didn't
me?
really hurt. That did nothing for either one of them. Like it didn't
You
hurt
know?
Dom and it didn't help Zay.
Yeah,
Like
so I feel like them wins, and that's how I feel about that. The Nas and you know what I'm saying? Like to your example, like
mm-hmm.
it's like
Yeah.
that shit. Like you did what you were supposed to do, so it doesn't really hold as much weight to me because like in reality, if Frigga did beat him, you should beat him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just
Mm-hmm.
being realistic. Like if
Yeah.
Frigga beat him, gang, and him being the smaller player and having the disadvantages that he has size wise, like you should be able to beat
Mm-hmm.
him because you bigger than ISO Tay. So
Yeah.
he shouldn't be able to do those same things for you. You can wall up differently, contest shots better. You got the longer. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Yeah.
that regard to
Yeah.
me, bro. Like
I
the
do think what we saying?
no, you good.
Oh yeah. I do think Tay can somewhat compete with that level of weight class though.
Yeah, for
Because you
sure,
know what I'm
for
saying?
sure, for
He
sure,
was a free throw away from beating Rob. You know what I'm
for
saying? Like it's
sure,
just tricky. You know what I'm, it's different
for
levels
sure,
of
for
it's
sure.
different, it's definitely different guys, but I understand your point a lot. Like
And that's
I
why
definitely like
and that's why he playing Keem. You know what I'm saying? Being a
yeah.
heavyweight. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? Because you are a
Yeah,
bigger player.
facts.
He played Bruce. He played Zay. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you gonna put ISO Tay against them games. Whereas to
Yeah.
we not really, even if Frigga was still like Frigga would have to be
Mm-hmm.
top five talks in order for us to really put him in those games.
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't be putting Scoob in these games if he wasn't in the top five. We would always
Facts.
match the heavyweights with the heavyweights. You feel me? We
Mm-hmm.
gonna put people
Yeah.
based on where they fit, relative to size. Like Kel and L Ellis they had a little bit, but Kel is solid. He has a solid
Yeah.
frame. He's
He's
not,
bulked up. Yeah.
yeah, he's not like small like as to where like Keon playing Zay is gonna be a mixed match.
Yeah.
They relatively same height,
Super
but
mismatch.
he's just going and because that's why I picked
Yeah.
LP to beat Cam. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna be physically more imposing, bro. That's just what's gonna happen over time. Like people can say what they want,
Absolutely.
like yeah, I ain't got to get in the post, bro. When LP start going straight left downhill, bro, he couldn't do shit to stop it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
Cam
Literally,
couldn't do
bro.
shit to stop that shit. So that's just why I look at that, and I just feel like the criteria just needs to be a little bit more tight on how we rank people because like okay yeah Zoe needs to be in the top 10, but
Yeah.
like where does it get to a point because like I'm not putting Zoe against a Zay neither.
Yeah. You can't.
I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not doing that, bro. You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
I think they just need to classify really like where it is and then like have the whatchamacallit ranks like what OTD try to do, what Davo and them
The
try to
weight
do.
class rankings.
Yeah, like the weight class
Yeah.
rankings and then the overall rankings. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
this is what but the
We'll have
criteria
like
needs
the
Yeah,
Yeah,
the criteria needs to be
I get
same
what you're
across the
saying.
board for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also look another idea. I'm gonna spit at you real quick. You tell me what you think about this, right? I also feel
Mm-hmm.
like the seasons need to go. They need to get back to the type of TNC season that they had, like with the TNC. I want to build up to that Nas and whatchamacallit game. Because
Yeah,
if you look at it now, relative, it was a OTD,
it
so to
was.
speak,
It was a
versus
mini. Yeah.
it was an early version of that. So like I feel like they should get back to that for the rankings and have like little smaller tournaments like they was doing, you feel me? Like, but I feel like
Yeah.
every platform should kind of do that to establish their own
Mm-hmm.
shit. So when we
Yeah.
get the cross platform, you still coming into the same shit. Cause you know how people try to say like playing on OTD is different versus playing on next chapter because slight different
Yeah.
rules. They allow this, they don't allow that. It needs to be
Mm-hmm.
one thing across the board. One thing across the board. We have these set rules for this tournament. You feel me? And then we do
Yeah.
that maybe twice a year. We do one at the beginning of the year and then one at the end of the year. Of course, people gonna still have their games in between, but it just
Of
settles the
course.
ranking for the year. You feel me? I feel like the rankings
Mm-hmm.
need to be a year, not some shit we doing every 3 months. Because I feel like that's where it makes
Yeah.
it a little bit oversaturated. Somebody taking
Mm-hmm.
a L now, it bumps them at the top five or top 10
Yeah.
and shit
Mm-hmm.
like that. You know what I'm saying? Because to me personally, if Cam was top five, it would have cemented him beating LP top five this game. But like, it doesn't take him. I'm not finna drop him to 8 or 9 if I had him
Yeah.
5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm not finna
Exactly.
do
Yeah.
that. Um, but yeah, bro, I think that's what they should do, bro. That's my little idea that
I
little
think that's a
tournament
great
thing.
idea. I think that's a great idea because one, it gives us the cross-platform matchups that the fans want so much. You know what I'm saying? It allows us to watch some more of those cross-platform, which I am glad that we're getting a lot more of those now. But it just gives like we know, okay, at this point in time, we're gonna get this OTD guy versus this TNC guy. And then it allows for a more clearer perception of the rankings, because it's like, a guy can get so high. Like for example, I'm very high on C4, but certain fans aren't as high on him. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And certain people feel like he's only put in the rankings as high as he is because he was beating TNC guys. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So
right,
him getting that chance like a Dooley to play a OTD player, or even somebody who's higher ranked on OTD than somebody like
right,
Dooley, and him winning that game, it provides a lot more of a validity to
right.
somebody like me having him in my top 10. You
Right,
know what I'm
right,
saying? So
right. Because I can't, because reasonably, that's why I say I look at it like that because it's like BJ ain't played nobody in so long. I'm not putting him in my shit no more. You know what I'm
oh yeah,
saying?
facts.
And we
Yeah.
can't go off of the things from a year or two ago, gang. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Yeah.
do that. I can't still hold you to that caliber for that. You feel me? Because now we have
Mm-hmm.
Keems, we have Doolies, we have niggas that you can come over there and play, or they can come over here and play. We can kind of hash
Yeah.
that out. You feel me? Kind of like what they did with the
Mm-hmm.
small guard. I feel like they done that with the small guards.
Facts.
Everybody has kind of essentially Baller's Life and OTD are kind of doing it now with having left hand Dom and
Zo?
yeah, you feel me, play and
Yeah.
shit like that and let Malik come over here and play and shit like that. Like they kind of doing that now, but like they've already pretty much done that. We know who the top small guard is essentially now.
Yeah.
You feel
Uh-huh.
me? Like we know
Yeah.
what's going on with that, and we can pretty much rank them for real based on that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like we can go ahead and put Zoe and Malik up here, left hand Dom, kind of. You know what I'm saying? And then we can
Yeah.
kind of tier it from there. You feel me? Um. So yeah, I just feel like they need to do that shit across the board, bro. Cause like
Oh, for
real,
sure.
like
Yeah.
the heavyweight division, I feel like is the most controversial. That's the
Yes.
one that we need to
Yeah.
figure out. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like we have a lot of wings. I don't feel like we have a lot of wings in the
Yeah.
1v1
Not
space.
not too many. Not too many.
Like if I'm gonna call anybody a wing, I'm gonna call like a B artist or like these freaky athlete type of niggas. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
those are more the
Uh-huh.
wing players. But like we got it's a lot of guards. Then we got big niggas. we got your
Literally.
we got your big running back linebacker
Literally,
niggas. We
bro.
got their Rob
Yeah.
Cologne, Nas, Zay. These niggas is linebackers, bro. You would have
Yeah,
57 if
bro.
you play football, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, bro, that's just my little idea, bro. I've been kind of thinking on that, and I've been waiting to pitch that to somebody that like watched
I
the
like
1v1
it.
scene. You feel
Yeah.
me?
I like it, bro. I'm a
I
big
think
fan of that for sure.
I think
Hopefully,
that'll be
like,
fire.
you feel me? If anybody from the scene is watching or
Yeah,
watches this, you feel me?
yeah,
Lock
yeah,
in, bro. We
yeah.
need that ASAP, bro.
We need that, yeah, bro. Cause I was watching ABC Crew and they was talking about there needs to be seasons kind of like with playoffs, and I feel like that's where I started thinking about it, like, you know what, that would be fire because they TNC was already doing seasons, Ball is Life, OT, they already do seasons, but now we can
Yeah.
have more meaningful games within those seasons. You feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
this season is
Yeah.
a strict tournament for this right here. Like this is what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck is going on. This
Yeah.
means everything. And then like I don't know how you feel about the games earlier, before they came up with the 30 rule. Everybody go to 30. How do you feel
Oh
about
yeah,
those
yeah.
games?
I feel like those count. You know what I'm saying? I think BLS made a really good point in one of his videos. He basically said, if it counted in that era, it still counts. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
if it counted, we can't. I feel like it's very disingenuous to try to take out everything that happened before games to 30 just because we have games to 30. Like, I feel like, for example, right? Let's say like you take the NBA, right? Let's say if playoff series before like the 80s, let's say before the 80s, playoffs was best of 5 instead of best of 7, right?
right.
And then in the 80s, they switched to best of 7. Do you know how much history you'd be erasing if you tried to
Facts,
say that this stuff doesn't count just because it wasn't
facts,
best of 7? Like, I feel like
facts.
if it counted in that era, it still counts. You know what I'm saying? We just have our way that we do it now.
Facts. That's why I feel like it needs to be a little bit more cleaned up in that regard as far as somebody figuring it out. Because they was talking about a committee too. Like there needs to be like a representative from OTD, Next Chapter, Ball is Life, June's League, whatever. You feel me? Like everybody needs to have
Yeah.
one representative that can all come together, a neutral person that don't really
Yes.
have a bone to pick, but they're just on this side of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That can speak for these people. And like I feel like those games, we need to bring those games back and then let the pay-per-view kind of be a 30 like during the season, like have a couple games to like 15 and shit, because
Mm-hmm.
they can play them more consecutively. We can see these matchups a lot quicker, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then give the 30s for the pay-per-view or like the bigger games and shit like that. And I just feel like
Yeah.
it'll help with the rankings, bro, a lot. Like, and then like cuz like we can ignore I get tired of people bringing up the Frigmas
Oh
because,
yeah.
and the main reason why I'm tired of them bringing it up, the games, whether they do or don't count, is because Frigga's the only one that does that shit.
Yeah.
So like
Literally.
we can't just
Mm-hmm.
classify that just because it's Frigga. Like this is Frigmas.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a fucking fun basketball thing, bro.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, bro. Because I actually that was some of my early reactions and shit. The Frigmas and shit. Like yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Rob beat School 15-0, but literally, bro, like they were in there bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care what nobody say, like the preparation and the mindset going into those games are gonna be a lot different, bro. And we know Rob is a nigga that can score all 15 in a row. Like that's not shit. That's a halftime now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like relatively
Mm-hmm.
like speaking, like that's a halftime now. Like who's to say that if they was going to another 15, School wouldn't have came back?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so
I
you
get that.
you feel me? Even then in that setting, like, who's to say that he couldn't have came back, bro? Like, he got a lot of good looks in that game, bro. He just with them shits wasn't falling.
Yeah.
Rob
Yeah.
and Rob could miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say
So
that was 15 ones and twos. It is slightly different.
yeah,
Um, and I just feel like that type of stuff does count as well
yeah,
because at the end of the game, like School was kicking over presents and things like that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like he
yeah,
was not happy that he lost. You feel me?
yeah,
And he was able to get that rematch. TNC won and he won the game. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna see that
yeah,
trilogy, which I'm super excited for, bro. I
yeah,
can't wait for that trilogy, bro.
yeah,
But yeah, like it is tricky especially with something like Frigmas. But I also do count Frigmas just because like that was before like the pay-per-views and that was before what we have now as the standard. Um, and like guys knew like okay, Frigmas, like you might get a decent matchup in Frigmas. Like you had like a Kelver Scar on Frigmas, which I don't think we've seen that anywhere else, you know. Um, and then School after he lost to Rob, he beat I think it was Scar and Diesel. You know what I'm saying? Like after that, I think Rob versus Scoop kind of changed the vibe in the gym because you know Scoop felt the way that he lost 15-0.
yeah,
And then those other two games after that were kind of like, all right, now you feel what I'm saying? I'm about to get some get back. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that kind of it took it from that playful aspect of it to a more serious tone, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, yeah, but see, then fast forward right to the last one, and then you got Cam and Rob talking about they not gonna
Yeah,
take no. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
yeah.
it's like, bro, I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
put that at a certain criteria because again, right? Do we count certain wins against a Diesel who ain't played in so long, bro? Or
Yeah,
um um the other Mike that's been training with Nas now, he was playing in that shit then.
yeah.
He be having he just had Chris White in there, and you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, bro, it just
Yeah,
it's like more like to me, like I just give it more of a cushion, if that just
yeah.
makes sense. Like, I
Hmm.
we can put it in, of course, people's overall, but like when it come down to seriousness, like I don't think I'm gonna put that shit in there necessarily. But the same format is what I was talking about though, as far as like the how he did it, like. The fragments is going over a couple days. People are gonna match up multiple times, different
Yeah,
settings, seeing that type of shit. You feel
yeah,
me?
yeah,
Like that's still what I would like to see, just in a more like this shit means something now for real. Like no bullshit, all bullshit aside. Everybody tighten the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
You know, for real. Um, what would be some ideal matchups for you? Like any platform, any players. Like what's some
Okay.
matchups you want to see?
Some ideal matchups. I still want to see left hand down versus Bug. I definitely think that game still needs to happen. Um, Nas versus Zay. Like I feel like that's the main one that everybody kind of talking about. Like that's the basic one that has to happen eventually at some point. I haven't even really been thinking about like matchups that I would want to see. I had made a video recently, just talking about games that I wanted to see by the end of the year, and some of those have happened already. Like I had Keon versus Scoob on there. Um, I think if Nesco was to come back, him playing somebody like a B artist would be a really good game. I'd be very interested to see how Nesco handles somebody like B artist who's highly athletic and make a lot of shots. Um, who else? Who else? I want to see Rob versus Fombi still. Honestly, I still want to see Rob versus Fombi. I ain't gonna lie. Like
Like people forget,
I
bro. Fambi almost beat Zay.
yes, he
Like if
definitely
he didn't
did.
get tired, bro, like you know what I'm saying? Like if he didn't get tired for real, like he got gassed. Like that
Yeah,
nigga was
Fombi. Yeah,
gassed. Yeah, like
his resume
Fambi,
look a lot different if he win that
bro,
game. Like, you know
bro,
what I'm saying?
bro. You know what I'm saying? If a shot or two fall different, like you know what I'm saying? That's why why I go back to you know what I'm saying? Why I look at it different on how somebody get beat. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly
Hmm.
he was gassed. Because like that's why like something that LP harps on is the score of the game. Because you went up, then Scoob went on his run, but you made another run at the end. You feel me? Like those
Hmm.
are type of things that get talked about. Same thing with like NBA playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They'd be like, yeah, this happened, but hey, don't forget, goddamn, what happened before that to lead up to this shit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
So yeah, uh I definitely fuck with that Robin Fombi. I feel like the Robin Nas is still prevalent. I feel like that's still
Yes.
super super
Yeah.
super relevant.
Hmm.
Um I feel like the storylines that we need to see are the things that probably are the furthest from happening.
Yeah.
Only because everybody is playing that political role and not trying to fuck it up. That's why I feel like there needs to be a concrete thing on the rankings so niggas can start playing. Niggas can
Yeah.
start wanting to play. Like I feel like that's why these
Yeah.
niggas don't want to play. They not trying to fuck it up because one it could change from one week to the next. You know what I'm saying? Like
Uh
shit
huh.
could change from
Yeah.
one week to the next, bro. And like you could be top 10 one week and fucking niggas like man hell nah the next. You feel me?
Yeah.
So um yeah, I definitely I feel like the matchups that we need to see would be the ones that are more established and like the um like Cam and like what I say, Cam and
Cam and
Scoop,
Keon.
Cam and
Oh no, Cam and
Keon,
Scoob. Yeah.
yeah, like those games, like we need to
Hmm.
see those games, like. But I like what Ballers Life doing with the redemption shit though. That shit kind of fire, cause
It
that
is.
that Nas and Jonathan Simmons, it's kind of a random what the fuck, cause of everything that's been going on. It's like oh shit,
Yeah.
pulling
Uh
that
huh.
shit off is kind of crazy. That's a good matchup. But I don't know, like what pros would you want to see for real that you think would be good in the space if there were like I don't want to go on no fantasy shit because everybody gonna say niggas like KD and shit. But like I would really like to see
Yeah.
um like a Imani Bates or
Yeah.
like a what's his name, bruh? Damn, I don't
I would love to
forgot.
see like a Mac McClung
Mac
get into the
McClung.
one scene.
That would be so crazy, bruh. Oh my
Word.
God, dog. That would be so crazy, bruh.
Word.
I would love that shit, dog. Like that shit, like that type of shit, bro. Like or even damn. bro, what is his name, bro? I can't even think. He just I don't know why I can't think of his name right now, bro. He just Mikey.
Mikey Williams?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah, for
see
sure,
like a
bro.
Mikey, like
Yeah.
those
Uh-huh.
type of players, bro, that would like sell out some shit, bro. Like this
For
shit would
sure.
sell shit, gang, for real, bro. No cap. That type of shit would be fire,
That
bro.
would be fire.
What type of other names you got? Cause you said Mac McClung. That's crazy though. I ain't even,
That would be a
yeah.
really fun guy to watch just because of how explosive he is. Um, if we're gonna continue on that like explosive type, we technically like Noah Farrakhan did kind of pop up on the scene. He played Moon, but I feel like if he like let's say they run that back to 30 on a platform and they have a whole production team do it, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I think that'll be fire. Um, who else?
I like Sharif Cooper.
Yes,
I
yes.
like Sharif's game is so he got such bag work, bro. Like,
Hmm.
cause like I feel like we didn't get enough of what we should have got from Jelly Fam, Javon Quinterly. I feel like we didn't get
Hmm.
enough of what we should have got from that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
That was like a
uh,
friendly game.
yeah, and then him just playing Isaiah Washington, like I fuck with that. Isaiah looked cool, but they looked like they were just super relaxed and shit like that. And I don't
Hmm.
know, bro. Like, and it was so underwhelming when JQ played LP too. It was just like,
Yeah, I know.
you know what I'm saying?
I
Like, I want
know.
somebody that's gonna want to get to that bag for real. Like,
Yeah,
cause bro, I
they
feel
go
like,
at each other. You feel
yeah,
me?
bro, I feel like that
Yeah.
shit is go, man, that shit would be crazy, bro. I love that shit. Um, what do you think? Well, it might not be no differences, but was there any big differences in production wise from the trials to the summit? Cause like they're always super, everything is super laid out with TNC. But like, was there any
Hmm.
big differences that you seen?
Honestly, none. For real, for real. I
Where,
think they gave the same level of production for both. And I think it was easy for them to do that because it was like, one day and then the other.
yeah,
Um, and it's funny because I was actually talking to one of the camera guys, right? His name is Ruben. And he was like, bro, like trials was a little harder for like production wise than the summit. The
yeah,
trials had some longer games. I feel like the only difference was the atmosphere. Like it was way more packed. You had guys on both ends supporting both players that was in the gym betting money. Like the atmosphere is really what changed between Summit and Trials, you know?
yeah. More on the line and shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
That make all the sense. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got, bro. I really just wanted to pick your brain and shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Really
Yeah,
get a,
bro.
really try to talk about the space, bro. I don't really be having a lot of people to talk about the space with for real.
Nah,
So
yeah, bro,
I'm
for
like,
sure.
man,
I
I
would
gotta
love to
start getting
come
into a
back on
different
here,
lane.
bro.
Yeah, bro, for
I'd love
sure,
to because
bro.
you seem very knowledgeable about it, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah, bro,
saying?
and
Like,
I love hoop, gang. Like that's really what it
yeah.
is for me. Like I love hoop,
Mm-hmm.
bro. I've been watching hoop my whole life, bro. Like so,
Yeah.
I just kind of fell in love with it, bro. Like I said, it really started with Frigga though, for real. Like me and my cousin used to watch Frigga
Yeah.
all the time, bro. Go around bust niggas ass, and I'm like, damn, D3 hooper, da
Yeah.
da da. Like, bro,
Uh-huh.
I
Yep.
fuck with
The
bro. You know what I'm
D3.
saying? And I just
Yeah.
kind of stuck with it through that, and then just over time, bro, I just started feeling, bro. And I really like going to the event, bro. Like that shit just, oh my God, dog. Like in Charlotte, bro, that
Bro.
shit was so lit, bro.
I
Like so
can imagine, bro.
I gotta go, I gotta pull up to a friggin' facility. I gotta pull up
Oh
to
yeah, for sure,
to
bro.
like a OTD event, bro, Ballers Life event.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to go to a little bit of everything, bro. I want to see all of it, bro.
Facts.
Like I'm a big
Facts.
Frank Nitty fan. Like I fuck
I
with
fuck with
Frank,
Frank
bro.
Nitty.
That's my
Yeah,
I fuck
I
with
mess with
Frank,
him,
gang.
bro.
I fuck with his game, bro. I fuck with how he think. You know what I'm saying? His mind, bro, on basketball. Like I fuck with that shit. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you though, bro, giving me this opportunity, bro. You know what I'm saying? You my first real interview from the 1v1 scene because I done had like interviews with some of my one of my boys. He went pro overseas and shit. Because I
Okay.
cover like all sports on my channel.
Okay.
I cover
Okay.
everything, NBA, NFL. We do betting, baseball,
All right.
everything. You know what I'm saying?
All
So
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. But the 1v1 scene definitely close to my heart, bro, because it's more relatable. You know what I'm
It
saying? Like
is. Yeah,
I think that's
definitely.
why everybody fuck with
It
it,
really
bro. It's
is.
more
It
relatable,
is.
bro.
Yeah. And I appreciate you having me, bro. For real. Like you have like text me your Instagram or YouTube. Is this going up on YouTube?
Yeah, for sure. I'm dropping the vibe.
Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah, I'm a you feel me promote it for sure because this is
yeah,
great convos, bro.
yeah, for
For real.
sure.
So on TikTok, just send me everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm a big fan of what you got going on. Um, I like talking to people who are like you to where you understand you break down the game instead of like a stan who kind of has they one guy and they don't really care about nothing else, you know what I'm saying? Or they just their mind is only in like a troll mode, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody who really watches and wants to break down and talk about the game. Like I need more of that. So I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, for sure, bro. And whenever you're trying to chop it up, even, you know what I'm saying, just bullshit and whatever, bro, we can do that, bro. You feel
Yeah,
me?
for
You know
sure,
what I'm
bro. We
saying?
locked in, bro.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, bro. I appreciate you, gang.
All right, bro. I appreciate you too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, be safe, bro.
For sure. Yes, sir, chat. Hold on, chat. Let me switch it back. Let me switch back. W stream, bro. W Freddy. W Freddy, man.